Puja is a newlywed bride stepping into her in-laws' home with 1,000 dreams in her eyes. But on her very first night, something happens that shakes her to her core, a terrifying truth, something she couldn't have imagined in her worst nightmares. When a shattered Puja goes to her sister-in-law, Kamlesh, hoping for some comfort, she doesn't get solace. She gets a harsh slap across her face. Puja collapses to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Why was such a cruel betrayal and injustice inflicted upon a new bride? This story will shake you to your bones and leave you with a haunting lesson. But how did things escalate to this horrific night? To understand that, we need to flip back the pages of this story. The key to this entire narrative is Kamlesh. She is a responsible homemaker who runs the entire household. Her family includes her husband, her young daughter, her in-laws, a quiet grandmother, and her brother-in-law, Arun. To Kamlesh, Arun isn't just a brother-in-law, he's more like her own son. Life moves on. Arun is now grown up, and the family heads out to find a bride for Arun. The girl they are going to visit is named Puja. A BA English honors student, Puja wins everyone's hearts with her eloquence and confidence. When she sings an English song in her sweet voice, the whole family falls in love with her. Arun, meanwhile, is completely smitten. But there is one person in the room whose smile is replaced by unease. Kamlesh doesn't approve of Puja's modern and bold personality at all. But faced with Arun's happiness and stubbornness, Kamlesh has to concede. Even if she doesn't want to, she agrees to the wedding. That same day, the engagement ceremony is held with great fanfare. Arun's ring sparkles on Puja's finger, but no one knew this joy was only a guest for one night. The next morning, Kamlesh is heading out with her mother-in-law in a rickshaw when they spot a massive crowd and a commotion. People are protesting on the streets. That's when Kamlesh's eyes land on a face that makes her blood run cold. She erupts in front of everyone, ordering them to stop the drama immediately. Blinded by rage, Kamlesh marches forward. She grabs Puja's hand and ruthlessly pulls the ring off her finger. In a single moment, she shatters the relationship that was formed just yesterday. When Kamlesh returns home with this storm, chaos erupts. Her husband shows her a mirror, telling her that the mess she created without thinking is now hers to fix. Poor Arun pleads as well, trying to explain that Puja's way of thinking isn't wrong. But Kamlesh is blinded by her own ego. She refuses to listen to anyone. Sometime later, the story takes a beautiful and emotional turn. To save their relationship and explain her stance, Puja visits Kamlesh herself. She humbly apologizes, saying, "If we don't stand up for what's right and for others' rights, this world will slowly come to an end." Kamlesh, though traditional, is a good person at heart and realizes the depth of Puja's words. Her heart softens and she smiles, saying, "It takes me a while to process things, but once I understand, I never leave the side of what's right." With that, Kamlesh returns the ring to Puja with great respect. Finally, the wedding bells ring, and Arun and Puja are bound in marriage. But behind the grandeur of the wedding, a problem was lurking. On her wedding day, Puja was extremely unwell. She was suffering from a high fever and body aches. Even while reciting the vows, she was barely standing, relying on medication. After the ceremonies ended, came the night every bride dreams of, the wedding night. Arun enters the room, and after some small talk, he tries to get close to Puja. Puja, exhausted by pain and fever, clearly tells Arun, "I'm not feeling well. I have a high fever and my whole body is aching. Please, let's not do anything tonight." But Arun, blinded by lust and the arrogance of being a husband, ignores her completely. Despite Puja's repeated requests, tears, and protests, Arun forces himself upon her, driven by his own ego. The golden dreams of a new bride are heartlessly crushed on that bed. The morning light enters the room, but darkness settles forever in Puja's life. She is left crying in pain and shock. Arun tries to silence her, acting as if nothing happened. He says with a sense of entitlement, "Hey, I'm your husband. This is my right. This happens after marriage." Hearing this, the pain inside Puja screams out. Looking into Arun's eyes while sobbing, she says, "You have stolen my right." Arun is stunned.
But instead of feeling ashamed of his heinous act, his bruised ego takes over. He explodes in anger, saying, "If you think I did something wrong, go outside and scream it to the world." With that, he heartlessly throws Puja out of the room. Trembling and weeping, as Puja steps out, she spots Kamlesh standing in the courtyard. Kamlesh is talking to some neighborhood women. The words reach Puja's ears. Women shouldn't fear explosions as much as they fear for their honor. This single sentence strikes Puja's heart like a toxic arrow. She realizes instantly that in this society and this family, she won't find justice. Instead, her honor will be dragged in the mud. Defeated by the fear of society and shame, the girl who wanted to fight for her rights wipes her tears and silently returns to that suffocating room. Deep inside her innocent mind, there was a sliver of hope that perhaps Arun realized his beastly nature. Maybe he would acknowledge his mistake and apologize. But seeing Arun's behavior, the last shred of ground beneath her feet disappeared. Puja was already in unbearable pain, but Arun, labeling his lust as love, forces himself upon her once again. Puja was broken from within. She realized that what the world calls marital love is for her just a cage she cannot escape. The next morning, Kamlesh notices Puja standing silently on the terrace. Seeing the emptiness in Puja's eyes and her stoic face, Kamlesh's heart skips a beat. Even after asking multiple times, Puja doesn't reveal the horrific truth of the night. Kamlesh realizes something terrible has happened, and without asking more questions, drops Puja off at her parents' house. Arriving home, Puja thought perhaps her mother was the one person in the world who would understand her pain. Finding her alone, she tells her everything, the events of the night and Arun's brutality. But the answer her own mother gives is even more horrific than Arun's actions. Instead of hugging her, she says in a convincing tone, "These things happen between husbands and wives. Once you're married, you have to adjust. What's the point in refusing? This is how lineages and families carry on." Hearing this from her own mother, Puja is paralyzed. Her mother finishes the job with emotional blackmail, citing the family's poverty. With cold excuses, she orders Puja to return to her in-laws immediately, threatening to slit her own wrist if she refuses. Betrayed by her own flesh and blood, poor Puja is left with no choice. She returns with Kamlesh like a living corpse. Along the way, she makes a desperate move, faking a need for a restroom break, and slips away from the auto rickshaw. This was the biggest decision of her life. She didn't look back, and she escaped. Kamlesh searched everywhere like a madwoman, but Puja was nowhere to be found. When Kamlesh brings the news home, the entire family is in chaos. They search everywhere, but it's as if she vanished into thin air. Finally, forced by circumstances, Kamlesh calls Puja's friend Sona, who works at an NGO. Sona claims she knows nothing, but promises to do everything in her power to find her. Finally, Sona's search pays off. She finds Puja huddled in the corner of a secluded park, shivering like a terrified child. When Kamlesh arrives, Puja gathers the courage to pour out the entire truth, the brutality and the hell she endured that night at the hands of Arun. But Kamlesh's blind faith, built over years of raising Arun like her own son, proves heavier than the truth. Instead of hearing her out, Kamlesh's ego snaps and she lands a stinging slap across Puja's face. She screams and drags Puja back to that same prison. Even though Kamlesh struck her, a seed of doubt had been planted in her mind as a woman. On the other hand, back in the beautiful setting of their honeymoon, Puja is completely hollow and terrified. She tries one last time to reach out to Arun, hoping for a glimmer of hope, but there is no love in Arun's eyes, only the hunger of a predatory wolf. He ignores her tears and screams, forcing himself upon her yet again. Poor Puja can do nothing but writhe in pain on that bed. The person she thought would be her life partner is actually her executioner. That night, Puja fully realizes that in Arun's eyes, she isn't a wife or a loved one. She is merely an inanimate object for his gratification. Puja's life had become a living hell. One night, trembling with fear, she locked herself in the bathroom. Arun kicks the door from the outside, demanding she come out. Shaking with terror, Puja cries from behind the door, "I can't come to you tonight. I'm on my period." But who can stop the demon of lust that had possessed this hyena? Arun's response is enough to chill anyone to the bone. He says with shameless cruelty,
"Don't lie to me. Open the door. I need to see for myself." Hearing this, the blood in Puja's veins turns to ice. She realizes this monster won't listen to reason. Amidst the fear and helplessness, her eyes fall on a blade sitting on the counter, and the scene cuts to black. The next morning, the household is in an uproar. Everyone finds out that Puja has been hospitalized in critical condition. The family rushes there in a panic. Arun, with a cunning tongue, tries to distract Kamlesh and the family, claiming it was some internal medical issue. But when Kamlesh goes inside and speaks with the female doctor, the truth she hears doesn't just pull the ground from under her feet, it shatters her entire existence. The doctor, with a heavy heart, reveals that there is a deep, self-inflicted wound with a blade in a sensitive area, and she is in this state due to massive blood loss. Kamlesh is stunned. She pulls herself together and tells the family to leave, saying she will stay by Puja's side. When Puja regains consciousness, she pours out the bitter truth to Kamlesh, the agony that forced her to take such an extreme step. Hearing this, Kamlesh breaks down completely. That night, when Kamlesh returns home, she goes to the bathroom to try and understand Puja's pain. Taking the blade in her hand, she presses the metal against her own skin, trying to do exactly what Puja did. But at the slightest touch of the blade, her hand trembles. She drops it. In that moment, Kamlesh realizes the depths of fear and agony that 21-year-old girl must have endured to inflict such torture upon herself. The next day, when Arun arrives at the hospital wearing his mask of indifference, he finds that Kamlesh has already discharged Puja and taken her away. Even after the horrific state of his wife, the only thing on that barbaric man's mind was one sick thought. He shamelessly asked the doctor, "So, can I be physically intimate with my wife now?" Hearing this heinous question, the doctor's blood boiled. She had seen those horrific wounds and knew exactly who was behind them. She lashed out at Arun, shouting with all her might, "You are a bottom-feeding, disgusting human being. Animals like you should be put down." She immediately called security and had Arun thrown out of the hospital, warning him never to show his face near her ward again. Puja, who came into this home with thousands of golden dreams of marriage and a new life, has had her world turn into a living hell where her own husband is her greatest criminal. What she has suffered in the name of love and rights is more painful than death. But now that Puja has returned from the edge of death and has found support in Kamlesh, who stood against her until yesterday, what happens next? In your opinion, what should Puja do now? Should Arun be forgiven, or should he face a punishment that sets an example? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so that the next and most important part of Puja's story reaches you the moment it drops. See you in the next episode.